There's something different about people who grew up before smartphones, and psychology explains why. Your brain developed during the last era of unfiltered childhood, a time when boredom wasn't a problem to fix, it was a space to grow. We assume more supervision, more technology, and more protection create stronger adults, but neuroscience suggests something surprising. Less structure created more strength. And it rewired your brain in five powerful ways. First, self-generated problem solving. You were a child standing in the middle of a long afternoon with nothing planned. No notifications, no algorithm feeding you entertainment, no one scheduling your every minute. You said, I'm bored, and the response was simple. Go find something to do. So you did. You built imaginary walls. You created games from nothing. You turned empty space into adventure. Psychologically, this builds what experts call autonomous executive function, the ability to generate direction without external prompts. You didn't wait to be entertained, you initiated. That's why today, when situations are unclear, you don't freeze, you adapt. Second, calibrated risk. You climbed things that were slightly too high, you rode too fast, you tested your limits, and sometimes you fell. But here's what that built. Accurate threat assessment. Research in developmental psychology shows that controlled risk exposure strengthens the nervous system. It teaches the brain the difference between real danger and manageable discomfort. You learned through experience, not through warnings. That's why in real crises today, you often stay calm while others panic. Your brain has practiced discomfort. Third, emotional processing without escape. Something hurt your feelings and you had nowhere to instantly offload it. No group chat, no social media validation, no distraction machine in your pocket. You sat with it, you felt it, and eventually it passed. Without realizing it, you trained emotional regulation. You learned that emotions move like waves, intense, then fading. Psychologists consistently find that early emotional self-regulation predicts long-term success in relationships, leadership, and stress resilience. You didn't suppress emotions, you metabolized them. Fourth, patience training. Waiting wasn't optional. You waited for your favorite show once a week. You waited for photos to be developed. You waited for letters to arrive. There was friction between desire and reward, and that friction built impulse control. Modern life removes delay, but delay builds discipline. Studies on delayed gratification show it correlates with stronger decision making, better financial habits, and greater long term achievement. Your childhood trained patience in a way today's environment rarely allows. And finally, identity without constant performance. You weren't documenting your life, you were living it. You weren't optimizing your personality for likes, you were experimenting privately. That created something rare today, an internal sense of self. When you sometimes feel out of place in today's hyper-connected world, it's not because you're outdated. It's because you were built in a different psychological environment, one that valued capability over visibility, silence over stimulation, freedom over surveillance. You experienced one of the last eras where childhood was both free and formative, and it didn't weaken you, it strengthened you. So if you grew up before smartphones, this isn't nostalgia, it's neuroscience. Comment below. What's one experience from your childhood that shaped who you are today? And if you want more psychological insights into why you think, act, and feel the way you do, subscribe. Because once you understand your wiring, you understand yourself.